Hi everybody, welcome back to Cabin Crafts and Simple Living, and today we're going to talk about soot, like ashes and soot. So I'm going to do two different things with soot today. Lamp black was a type of oil paint. It was a color, it was called lamp black, and it was made by collecting soot and mixing it with linseed oil. Now this was also used to make ink. And that would be mixed with water. So today I thought I would show you how to do that, and then we're also going to talk about decorating furniture with smoke. So two different things to do with soot today, and I've got a lot of combustibles here, so pray that I don't burn myself down or catch my hair on fire or something silly like that. But anyway, I have my trusty kerosene lantern here. And so this is my lamp, and then I've got a cup here to collect the soot, and then I've already got a pile started of soot. Now you could have collected this from the back of your fireplace, your brick fireplace, or if you had one of those big cast iron firebacks. You don't want ashes, you want the soot. So you want the black smoke that collects on things, and that's what they would do. They would collect the black soot, which is carbon, and that's how they would make the color black for paint or for ink. I'm crouched down here like this so that I can get in the frame of the camera. But anyway, I'm going to show you. Now there is, before I go any further, this goes back to prehistoric times. If you go to cave paintings, you're going to find pigments that were mixed with, earthen colors, natural pigments like red ochre, yellow ochre, and so you have your reds, your yellows, and your blacks. That's primarily what was in cave paintings. So this goes back to the beginning of time. And in ancient China, they were making lamp black ink. And you can look at some of their manuscripts from around 500 BC and see where they were starting to color. Maybe it was 500 AD. I don't remember. But anyway, it was a long time ago. They were beginning to do these manuscripts with in shades of gray and black, monochromatic. You would see the mountains, and they would do the bamboo, and then they would have some sort of Chinese calligraphy. It's beautiful to look at, and it's all done with lamp black. So there is a fellow I watch on YouTube. He's from China. His name is Shanbai. His channel is called Shanbai, Shanbai. And he does all of these ancient Chinese traditional crafts. He makes paper, he makes ink, he makes the most beautiful things. So I would encourage you to watch him and watch how he makes ink, because he's got this whole setup of china cups suspended by bamboo tripods. And then he's got candles that he's got them under and are over to collect the black soot. So I'm just going to demonstrate a little bit of that today, and then I'll show you. We're going to mix it in with some warm water and make a little bit of ink. But I'm going to go ahead and light this. And if any of you have ever had your electric go out and you've had to use a kerosene lantern, if you have the flame turned too high and it gets that black smoke on your globe, that's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and light my fire. So here we go. And I want the flame, pretty high. Now, if this was in our lantern, we wouldn't want it this high, but we want to collect. So I'm going to just hold my cup, and I want to make sure I've got enough oxygen to keep the flame going, because, flame needs oxygen to burn. And I can see black smoke starting to come out the front. I don't know if you all can see it or not, but there's black smoke coming out the front of this cup, and when I pull it away, the whole inside is going to be covered with black. You see my flame is still there. I don't know if you can see the smoke. Yeah, you can see the smoke rising now in the screen. So we're going to collect, and this would take a long time with one cup. But I just want to show you the process. So there you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and blow it out and put it down on the floor, because it's going to just really smoke a lot. And so we've got our paper towel here. And I'm just going to take a paintbrush. I'm going to brush the inside of this and collect the soot. Again, don't confuse this with ash. Ash will make soap. Ash will make your lye. And we're just going to scrape it down into my other pile that I've got here. Like I said, this would take a long time with just 1 cup. So, you know, you'd want to collect it off the back of your fireplace or whatever if you're out on the frontier. And then we're going to add some, I've got a little cup of warm water here. And I'm going to, what I do with my stir stick, I'm just going to add it a little at a time into this cup with warm water. This is super messy. My hands are going to be black by the time this is done. And I'm going to add my water a little at a time. This is warm water. And stir. Until I get the desired viscosity that I want. I think that looks good. Okay, there we go. There's our ink. Now, if you wanted to use this to make paint, you would mix this with linseed oil. All oil in early America was pretty much oil-based unless it was milk paint. And that's a whole other story. But this is the ink would be water-based. The oil would be linseed oil. I've got a piece of parchment paper here. I haven't practiced my calligraphy, y'all, so don't hate on me. But I don't want to use up all my parchment paper, so I'm just going to use a small piece. And I've got a quill here. Okay, and here's my quill. And so if you've ever watched historical movies, you'll notice that they didn't have, like they would cut their quill. Let me grab a pair of scissors. They didn't leave all this feather on. They cut it up pretty good so that the feather is not in your way of writing. Anyway, they would strip this off, and I'm cutting it so it's not very even, but you get the picture. So they wouldn't have all of that feather left on there because it would be in your way. And then I've cut the end of my pen. Now, if you've ever heard the term pen knife, it's not pin knife, P-I-N, it's pen knife, P-E-N, and they were pocket knives to cut your quills with. So that's where you get the term, or if you read a historical novel, you'll see sometimes the word pen knife. That's what it was for. It was to cut a quill pen. So let's see how good we did here. Like I said, don't judge me, because this is all just live TV, and I don't know if I got my my consistency right. So let's see if I can write something here. There's my name. It's backwards, but there's my name written with soot. Isn't that cool? Kind of fun, isn't it? All right, now moving right along, we're going to go on to another area altogether, but it's still kind of using flammables. So I have a beeswax candle here, and I've got a little stool that I've got, a little painted stool. And I printed this off because I don't know how to insert pictures into my thing yet. But this is smoke decorated furniture. And you can see there's a chest, a box, couple chests and a box and a tabletop. And you can see they've decorated these pieces of furniture with smoke. And this was an early American technique. This is mostly found in colonial America, early America. And I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish with this look here, other than just pure decoration, or if they were trying to get it to look like a fancier grain of wood. I'm not really sure, or if it was just for the smoke decoration itself. But this is just a sample. If you go on and Google smoke decorated early American furniture, you'll see document boxes like this probably is, lots of chests, this little tabletop, candle boxes, all sorts of different pieces of early American primitive painted furniture. This would not have been done on very expensive wood. So, you know, because you wanted the grain of that mahogany or whatever to show through if you actually had very expensive wood. Beautiful cherry, beautiful maple, you know, figured maple. You would not want to cover that with smoke. So I thought that we would try to do a smoke decoration on the top of our little stool here. So we're getting out the matches again. And my beeswax candle. Wrong side of the box. Well, come on. Let's try a different match. Maybe that one's... There we go. Live TV. Isn't it fun? Okay. All right, we're going to let that burn a minute. And I hope I can show you this. I want that flame to get pretty good. And so we're just going to, we want it to, there we go. Can you see what it's doing? And then you might be able to make, I can see where they would kind of think that was a grained wood. Maybe. But you're just holding your candle up there and letting it do its thing. Kind of fun. And they could do squigglies and stuff. I don't know if I can do a squiggly. Might just have to stick with the tiger stripe here. We'll stop there. But anyway, you can see I'm covered in smoke. You can see what it did to the wood. It almost looks like a grain. And I don't really think it doesn't really smear. So it's burned into the wood really nicely. So, you know, I guess if you didn't really want to do something artsy, fancy, you could do this to a small box or a small stool like this and just kind of give it a smoke decoration. But that is two things with soot. Who would have thought? So here again is our pictures. We got a couple chests. I love this document box up here in the right hand corner. I think that's just cool. And then they probably went in after they smoked the box and did the red ochre trim all around the sides. And then this one, they just did it on the top pieces, just plain wood, and then they did it all across the bottom. Of course, there's a tabletop. And to find these pieces is extremely rare. I mean, these pieces go for a lot of money because it's considered American folk art. So I thought maybe you would enjoy these two different techniques today, what to do with soot, so we can make ink and paint, and we can decorate furniture. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day. Bye-bye.